Right friends, welcome back to 10th part. Here Paris Climate Treaty, this came into force on 4th November, and here it is basically with a view to reduce global greenhouse gases, all of you are familiar with, and here in this PPT it is clearly evident how the treaty comes into force. The treaty comes into force when 55 countries, minimum 55 countries, which constitute 55% of total emissions ratify it. And finally, the treaty came into force on 4th November. And if you look at other aspects, Cabinet cleared a strategic disinvestment of Bharat pumps and compressors. And you may have a doubt what is meant by strategic disinvestment. Disinvestment can be two types, so please look into this slide. Government quite frequently undertake minority stake sale, but normally governments do not go for strategic sale, fearing agitations by employees, and here this strategic disinvestment of Bharat pumps and compressors was undertaken after a long gap, and previous strategic sale was undertaken by the government around 12 to 13 years ago when Vajpayee was the Prime Minister, and Project Saksham was approved by the Union Cabinet. What is meant by Project Saksham? Please don't confuse with Swayam. Swayam is basically online education portal by Human Resources Development Ministry, but Saksham is different. Saksham is to integrate IT systems of the Central Board of Excise and Customs with GST network. Central Board of Excise and Customs is the board for indirect taxes. So, its IT systems are to be integrated with the GST network, because GST is going to be a reality if everything goes well from 1st April 2017. So here if someone talks about the Saksham, it is to integrate IT systems of CBEC with the GST network. Kaveri dispute, we deliberated in detail. In that discussion, we have deliberated that Thomas Hobbes' doctrine is being followed across the world. And here it is mutual transferring of rights is the concept. Then we have deliberated about state list entry number 17, water supplies, irrigation are in state list. Entry 56 in the union list looks at interstate rivers, and article 262 grants Parliament the right to legislate over the matters under entry 56. Those things we have deliberated in detail. And Interstate River Disputes Act of 1956 we deliberated, and projects on river basin, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, please view them. And if you look at water disputes, what needs to be done, we deliberated in detail. Then the next one is Reliance Dassault joint venture. And all of you are familiar with the purchase of 36 Rafale fighter jets from France. These are manufactured by Dassault Aviation, and the total cost involved is 7.878 billion euro or rupees 59,000 crores of rupees. And defense contracts have offset clause, very important. Defense contracts have offset clause, and as per that offset clause, they have to manufacture or assemble certain things in our country, and this Reliance as well as Dassault will come together for this offset clause operation. What is meant by offset clause I have given here, please go through it. Colombians rejected FARC peace deal, but ultimately what happened is they modified the terms and conditions. And Juan Manuel Santos won the Nobel Peace Prize for 2016 for the deal with the FARC rebels. And about FARC rebels, please view this slide. It is guerrilla movement started in 1964. Another important aspect is on 30th September 2016, Marrakesh VIP Treaty came into force. Marrakesh VIP Treaty. This is with regard to visually impaired persons. Right. So, this treaty, India was the first to sign this treaty, and this came into force, and this will be operated by WIPO or World Intellectual Property Organization. And the next one is SEBI allows option trading in commodities. Please look into this. Futures contract, options contracts. I have given the difference. Previously, futures contracts were allowed. Now SEBI allowed options contracts also. And Nobel Prizes were announced. And I would like to tell you the Nobel Prize for Medicine or Physiology. Nobel Prize in Medicine or Physiology was awarded for autophagy. This is very important. That is the biological recycling of the cells, autophagy. Then if you look at physics, 3 scientists got this award. You may ask, what is the contribution? The contribution is their research on exotic states of matter. Then if you look at chemistry, 3 have got it. And the main contribution is development of nano machines. Once this nano machines becomes a reality, fighting the diseases will become very, very easy. And the next one is Peace Prize. As I have already told you, for agreement with the FARC rebels, Juan Manuel Santos got the prize. Then economic sciences for contract theory, 2 economic researchers have got this prize. This is contract theory, very, very important. Then popular musician and songwriter Bob Dylan got Nobel Prize in Literature. Then most favored nation we deliberated. What are the implications if India withdraws it, which was granted to Pakistan? So these things we deliberated. What are the available options we discussed and deliberated under national security exception, right? And if you look at the next one, NPS and Bad Bank we deliberated. Bad Bank is basically improvement over selling the assets to asset reconstruction companies, and Bad Bank will look at the management of NPAs, right? So this is still in the discussion stage. Government had to take a decision as far as Bad Bank is concerned. We deliberated in detail about the Kigali Pact. All of you are familiar with the Montreal Protocol of 1980s. Montreal Protocol is with regard to the reduction of chlorofluorocarbons. And now Kigali Amendment to Montreal Protocol is with regard to reduction of hydrofluorocarbons, right? So Montreal Protocol, please look into this. We have given all the details about Montreal Protocol, which came into force in 1989 with regard to reduction of chlorofluorocarbons. Chlorofluorocarbons were reduced because it is damaging ozone layer. Now hydrofluorocarbons under Kigali Pact are to be reduced because of its global warming potential. So chlorofluorocarbons, Montreal Protocol. Then hydrofluorocarbons, that is Kigali Pact or amendment to Montreal Protocol. This distinction is very, very important. Additional information on Kigali Pact I have given here. Please go through it. Then how do we view the pact? I critically examined this. Please go through this. BRICS Summit was held with main focus on terrorism. And at the same time, BIMSTEC Outreach Summit was also held. BIMSTEC has got 7 countries. Please go through this. So BIMSTEC Outreach Summit was also held in Goa, and along with the BRICS Summit, SARC was not invited because of the hostilities with Pakistan. And here BIMSTEC Outreach Summit was held on the sidelines of BRICS Summit in Goa. Then if you look at the news in focus, 39% of Indian children are stunted. And this is as per the report given by International Food Policy Research Institute. And this is alarming situation, and we have deliberated on important findings and additional information. Then Delhi High Court judgment given in favor of Rameshwari photocopy services. Basically, this is to be viewed in the context of expansion of knowledge, right? If you look at the next one, this is a direct benefit transfer for kerosene was started experimentally in Jharkhand. And what are the challenges for implementation of this? We deliberated. Please view this slide. Then nuclear triad. INS Arihant was commissioned, And with this, India joined with the select group of countries having 3 strike capabilities as far as nuclear weapons are concerned. The first one is from land with Agni group of missiles, then from air, that is Mirage 2000 or Sukhoi 30 MKI can deliver nuclear weapons from air, and from nuclear submarines, from INS Arihant, these weapons can be delivered. So 3 ways these weapons can be delivered, and India reached a select group of countries, and this is popularly known as nuclear triad. Udan, Ude Desh Ka Aam Nagrik, to connect unserved, underserved airports, and rupees 2,500 per hour is the charge, right? So additional information I have given, please go through it. Debit card breach occurred due to the malware in Hitachi Payment Services Private Limited. Due to the malware of the POS terminals as well as ATMs maintained by Hitachi Payment Services Private Limited, this situation arose and 3.2 million cards data breach took place. Then the next one is Saraswathi River existed, said KS Valdiya panel. This is another important news, and at the same time, Chandrabhaga River has also existed as per IIT Kharagpur scientists, and Chandrabhaga River is adjacent to Konarak temple in Odisha, please don't forget. And this Saraswati River's report was given by KS Valdiya panel. And if you look at the next one, bird flu scare in New Delhi and Gwalior and some other places. But here the important point is it is H5N8 but not H5N1. H5N1 is serious as far as infection of human beings is concerned. Then Tata Sons sacked Cyrus Mistry. This is another important corporate news. And if you look at the Tata Group, right from 1868, only for 10 years, it was managed. That means out of 148 years, only for 10 years, it was managed by non-Tata family. Right, first one is Nauroji Saklatwala and now Cyrus Mistry. So for 138 years, it was managed by Jamshedji Tata, Dorabji Tata, Jahangir Ratanji Dadabhai Tata or JRD Tata, followed by Ratan Tata. And if you look at the Tata Group after 2000, Chorus was acquired. This is during Ratan Tata tenure. It is somewhat failure, you can say. Jaguar Land Rover was acquired. It is a success. Then Nanocar, that is utter failure. So these are the things which happened during Ratan Tata tenure, and with this let us conclude 10th part. Please do join for 11th part. Have a nice day. Thank you.